Life as We Know It with Tom Walton.
Let me share a piece of personal information that may at the outset seem irrelevant. My birthday is December 31st. That's right, I'm a New Year's Eve baby. I like to joke that had I been born a day later, I'd be a year younger. As it turns out, I'm just glad I wasn't born in South Korea. I mention the month and date of my birth not because I want you to send me a gift during the holidays, unless of course you really want to. No, I mention it because I recently learned something disturbing. Had I been born in South Korea, I would not be a year younger. I'd be 2 years older. That's because an old South Korean custom counts one's age in a strange fashion. Historically, and according to a now fading tradition, South Korea had considered every baby to be 1 year old at birth. Then when the calendar turns January 1st, another year is added to the child's age. Pity the poor New Year's Eve baby like me. Less than 24 hours after the child's arrival, he or she is already 2 years old. Talk about the terrible twos. The kid doesn't even get a first birthday party. South Korea is attempting to march boldly into the 21st century with a new law that just went into effect 2 weeks ago. The law formally adopts the same age-counting standard used around the world. It represents the country's latest attempt to standardize how age is calculated, although nobody knows yet what will actually change. Tradition sometimes dies hard. South Korean law, for the most part, already uses the actual birthday for tallying a person's age to define when an individual can first go to school, drive a car, smoke and drink, and receive a pension. The South Korean military uses the international standard to determine when a young male citizen begins his mandatory military service. When the rest of the world says he's 18, off he goes to the army. Even so, the newest law was deemed necessary to reduce what South Korean President Yoon Suk-yeol described as social and administrative confusion and to resolve legal disputes. For example, using one's Korean age instead of international age could be troublesome and even a health issue if medicines such as cough syrup were administered in improper amounts. One woman who lives in the capital city of Seoul said she is 49 years old and welcomes the new law because she no longer has to describe herself as being in her 50s. On the other hand, you know how small children can't wait to be older? A TV reporter asked one little girl about the change, and predictably, she wasn't happy. "I turned 6, she said, and then I had to be 5 again." Well, you can understand her frustration. Kids were also at the center of a dispute about public transportation. Parents who paid bus fare for their children began demanding refunds because they thought free rides under 6 meant in Korean years. I have a feeling the people of South Korea will adjust and adapt just fine. You know, this thing could have gone the other way, and people would have been required to count their age in dog years. My God, I'd be more than 500 years old.
Life as We Know It is written and hosted by Tom Walton and is a production of WGTE Public Media. Life as We Know It with Tom Walton can be heard on WGTE FM 91 every Monday afternoon during All Things Considered at 5:44 p.m. Or hear past episodes at WGTE.org/life.